imwe secret muri Zimbabwe yabudiswa pano yatoda kuti munge muchinzwa. Right, pane final draft yeMutapala law states iri kutaura nyaya dzeland ndizvo dzakanangana nadzo. So chekutanga muri Zimbabwe kuti ngopinda muka passage kacho kana kuti muka paragraph kacho katoda kachiti iko secret final draft of Mutapala law states all land will belong to the king, meaning ED himself. He gets the power to strip you of your private property with land forfeited to the kingdom. If this Cape 3 plan succeed, calamity awaits us as a nation. Muri Zimbabwe vanzi maroads achapuwa mazita evana vaED ese kana achinga asuccida akwanisa kupasa pa Cape 3 yake. So muri Zimbabwe munofunge chii, but ndo nyaya iripo land yese ichaenda kwaari. Saka ndo nyaya dziripo. Vese ava vaisi vari kumiramira magenerals hatizivi kuti chavari kumiramira chii papapa. Hatizivi kuti ndo kutya kwacho ndo gwara hwacho. Chete chinhu chatoziva ndechekuti muami yedu kusimba yakasimba, zvekusimba physical panyama dzavo, noti zvekuti ine maweapons haina chainacho. MuAfrica kuSouthern Africa kuno ndo katongotaura kuti hatina chatinacho. Saka hatizivi kuti zvavari kuita zvada kuti zviitike, hatizvizivi hedu. But chandu kuziva ndechekuti ivo vana vedu vari kumilitary vanhu vachangorwisana vega vega munyika muno vega vega zvavo. Pasina kana imwe nyika yapindira. Zvinhu zvinonzwisa tsitsi, zvinonzwisa urombo munyika kuti vana varwisaniswe neharahwa yachembera yakatamba ikaita vana 60. Ivo vana vedu vane vana 2 mudzimba vobva vanzi vafa kufira zvinhu zvisina basa, zvinhu zvinorwadza. Hatitaure nyaya itakasununguka, inyaya inotirwadza because vana vanenge vachida kudefenda nyika yavo sevafira vakaita muhondo muliberation struggle. Saka naizvozvo muri Zimbabwe ndo nyaya yatingataurawo nhasi kuti mukuru uyu weZANU-PF arikuziva panogona napo kuda kuti achinje nyika into one party state. Zvinova zviri zvinhu zvatiri kuramba tese mayouth enyika yeZimbabwe. Tokutenda zvikuru sei nekuteera kwenyu pano. Tichakusiyai makateera kubva kumakomrades epano.
The credibility of Zim Papers, it's that institution, the way it does its business is questionable already. So now, as an organization, the culture, right there, there's always been a culture that is packaged in something else. So when somebody does this, is it generosity or is it an exercise of a soft power? Because he's trying to tell you, let me do what I want to do. It's my money. So this is not about the fortune. It's about the ability of media houses to engage in truth-telling in Zimbabwe. Can these issues of ethics that are spoken about, can they survive in an economy where desperation is meeting wealth? Can these institutions stand firm when confronted with individuals who can outspend the rules that are in existence? So how does this collide with the CAP 3? How does this meet? How does this connect with CAP 3? I said I want to connect this with CAP 3. Because these stories are not separate. And I'll show you how. They are a symptom of the same deeper problem that we're experiencing with CAP 3. So this is why I am saying we need to change the system in Zimbabwe. The problem is that we have with Zimbabwe is a system that needs to be uprooted, that needs to be changed. That is the problem, the system. Because when you're looking at the Chivayo Zim Paper saga, there's something that you should be seeing. You're seeing a media house trying to enforce its rules And you see an individual with wealth and political access bending those rules with easy. With easy. He's just doing what he wants to do. He's saying a US 65,000 car, he's turning it into a US $100 sale. A US 150,000 house, he's turning it into a US $80 transaction. He's changing the form, but the influence is remaining, is not changing. Let's connect that to the CAP 3. We are seeing a constitution with clear amendment procedures. They're there, they're written. You see a requirement for national consultation, consensus, and legitimacy. It's called for by that constitution. But then you see we have got political actors who are pushing a narrative of inevitability, that it is inevitable. It's already done. It's unstoppable. Don't waste your time. We got this. And again, the form is changing, but the influence is remaining. In both of these two cases, ladies and gentlemen, the message to the public is the same. The message to you and me is the same. An institution does not matter. What matters is power. That is the message. An institution does not matter. What matters is power. And that is very dangerous. Those are dangerous waters to be playing in. Because when you see media ethics being bypassed by wealth and constitutional safeguards, it means they can be bypassed by political dominance as we're experiencing today. The end result, ladies and gentlemen, apana governance inenge iripo. Instead, you are having a situation where a system where individuals, not institutions, deciding the rules of the game. Look at the CAP 3. We are having a few people wanting to decide the rules of the game. And to make matters worse, they are doing it mid-game. This is not just about a car. CAP 3 is not about term limits. These two things, they lead us to the same national question. What kind of a country are we building? Are we building a country where rules protect citizens, or a country where power protects itself? Because this is where we are going. This is where we are heading. Power protecting itself. Power doing whatever it is it feels like it wants to do. Forget the rules. So this is why, ladies and gentlemen, the car issue, the house issue, and the CAP 3, they belong in the same conversation. We can never talk about this one without talking about that one. We are being shown here that the crisis in Zimbabwe is not isolated. But the crisis in Zimbabwe is systemic. It is a crisis of institutions that are being overshadowed by individuals, a crisis of rules being replaced by relationships, and a crisis of public trust being eroded by the spectacle of power, the theatrics, the theater. So when we talk about CAP 3, we are not talking about a technical amendment here. I think I have stressed this, for a minute now. We are talking about the same pattern we are seeing in this media saga. You can you can marry the two. They are like conjoined twins. We are experiencing it. It started as a slow, steady replacement of institutional authority with personal influence. But the pace has been accelerated, right now. Right now, we are having reports, we are hearing, oh, the president, sneaked out of the country. He's a master of sneaking out of the country anyway, because he snuck out during the 2017 thing. He snuck out. And you hear another story, oh, that, he snuck out, last night under the shadow of darkness via, heading to, Russia, and then, Belarus. And then you hear Scotty Saupwanya was the first one, to go. Right now he's in Moscow. Authoritatively told, boarded the plane, on Monday, arrived, on Tuesday. And today you are hearing these rumors that Emerson Mnangagwa is Aruba. That right there, we are looking at a situation where power is trying to protect, itself. If indeed those reports are true, who knows what is happening, there? Who knows why? If indeed he did leave, the country under the cloud of, darkness, who does that? What happened to the, to the and get the theatrics that we see at the airport? If indeed, he did that, what happened to the guard of honor that we are accustomed to? It's a country where rules are no longer protecting the citizens, because citizens, we're supposed to know what is going on. We're supposed to know who's acting. So if indeed it is the case, the situation that he just up and went, are we now on autopilot? Who's running the show? And now we are having, these stories